Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH the Flame Emperor episode number 167 based on novel. So let's start. As more and more people rushed to Guanghan Island, there seemed to be a few figures slowly appearing on Guanghan Island, which was surrounded by mysterious restrictions. Guanghan Island, although it looks like the smallest of the three islands from the outside, the space inside is the largest among the three islands. There is no cave inside. Guanghan Island extends in all directions, but in Guanghan Island, the most obvious one is a purple crystal palace. The whole body of the crystal palace is flickering with a very special aura, which makes people know at a glance that this crystal palace is expensive. The palace is located on the highest point of the entire Guanghan Island, and it is also the most conspicuous place in the entire Guanghan Island. At this time, in the crystal palace, several figures were moving slowly. Here! Deep in the purple crystal palace, a faint and sweet voice sounded slowly, and then a beautiful figure slowly appeared. I saw that this Chenying seemed to be imprisoned in a purple cage, restricting her freedom, which was quite miserable. The cage has a purple oval shape, and the woman sits in it slightly. As for Chenying's back, two heart-like things are beating slowly and powerfully. Fortunately, Chenying sent out a very powerful purifying power at the same time, and suddenly the evil power disappeared without a trace. And Chenying seems to be trying her best to hide something. Some people have already gathered the tokens on Jade Rabbit Island and Moonlight Island. It seems that someone will enter here before long. After a while, a man walked towards him outside the crystal cage and said slowly. The man is dressed in fiery red clothes, and his breath is quite strong, but his whole body is flickering with mysterious flames. Aren't you on Jade Rabbit Island? When did you come here? Chenying said slightly. I was worried about your accident, so I came over to have a look. The fiery red man shook his head slightly. Do you know what that thing behind you is? The fiery red man asked. I know. Chenying didn't seem to care and spoke slowly. It's been hard work for you all these years. The man heard the words and looked at the figure trapped in the purple crystal cage in front of him, and his heart softened. I'm afraid this place has already been reduced to ashes. Don't worry, this thing won't be able to deal with me in a short time. You say. Will he come again? Chenying didn't seem to think too much about the words of the fiery red man, but just stared at a statue not far from her crystal cage. That statue, about 5 meters in size, was carved with lifelike demeanor, and the figure was docile. However, it was very obvious that the statue was a man. The man has a very handsome appearance, and with the arrogance between his eyebrows, it goes without saying that he must be a strong man, but behind the statue of the man is a black thing on his back. Obviously he can't tell what it is, but however, it is exactly the same as the ancient ruler behind Xiao Yan. As for whether there is any connection between the two, it is unknown. It will come. The man also stared blankly at the statue in front of him and couldn't help but speak. He knew that the statue man in front of him was Chenying's only spiritual support, so he wouldn't say anything more. Sister Jiaoyue said at the beginning that as long as I wait here, he will come to pick me up one day. Chenying continued to look at the statue man, but her eyes became warmer. How about the aura of the alien race? The man couldn't help but ask. Very quiet. However, it has been agitated these few days. Obviously, there should be people from the evil race from outside the territory mixed into the ruins. Chenying said slightly. This is the ruins of Fairy Moon. With such a strong restriction, how could there be evil races from outside the territory? Hua Hong heard the words and was immediately puzzled. With human beings as the carrier, it is indeed possible to seal the power of evil races outside the territory. Chenying thought for a while and said, I will solve these things. The fiery red man said something, and then opened his mouth. You think? Leave here. Looking at the delicate figure in front of him, the fiery red man couldn't help but say, I won't go anywhere unless he takes me away. Chenying continued, then her eyes fixed on the statue man in front of her. Xiao clan. The people of the Xiao family are really the cancer of the world. But if you want to say that the human race that I admire the most in the entire Great Thousand World, this Xiao clan is tantamount to ranking first. Seeing Chenying being so determined, the man murmured in a low voice and immediately disappeared. It's here. Brother Xiao Mu, when are you coming to take me away? Chenying didn't care about the disappearance of the fiery red man, and then continued to mutter to the statue in front of her. Zaidu calmed down immediately, but the two hearts behind Chenying slowly exuded some evil aura. Is this the entrance to Guanghan Island? Not long after, Xiao Yang and his group came to the edge of Moonlight Island, which was the entrance to Guanghan Island. Hey, are you guys questioning the words of this uncle? The silver light mouse suddenly came out of Mu Yingying's arms and spoke immediately. This guy, I hope you don't lie to us, otherwise. Xiao Yang smiled slightly. You. Hearing this, Guang Rat buried his head in Mu Yingying's arms and was very afraid of Xiao Yang. It should be here. Xiuqi glanced around and found that there was indeed some extremely hidden aura here, and immediately said, I have to say that this Guanghan Island is really mysterious. From the outside world alone, we can't find any information inside. It seems that the danger of Guanghan Island is probably more dangerous than the other two islands. Xiao Yang stared at the man in front of him. The airtight Guanghan Island opened its mouth immediately. Of course, otherwise do you think anyone can enter Guanghan Island? The silver light rat said disdainfully. Others are here too. After a while, Leng Fuyao spoke suddenly. It's really unfortunate. It is said that the fighting spirit is in Jade Rabbit Island, but where is the fighting spirit in Jade Rabbit Island? Hua Lexin said suddenly. The fighting spirit is not on Jade Rabbit Island. Xiao Yang was surprised when he heard this. It seems that the real treasure should be in Guanghan Island. But the next moment, Xiao Yang knew something and immediately spoke. Look at what other bodies have harvested. As for entering Guanghan Island, don't worry. After all, opening the entrance of Guanghan Island requires two kinds of tokens on Yutu Island and Moonlight Island. Now that the token on Moonlight Island is in our hands, the token from Yutu Island is missing. Xiao Yang said. Everyone present wants to enter Guanghan Island, so everyone will not sell it. The token on Jade Rabbit Island is in my hand. Which of you owns the token of Moonlight Island? Let's join hands to open Guanghan Island. At this time, in the mid-air at the entrance of Guanghan Island, Meng Fei of Dan Valley suddenly floated into the air, and then said to the group of people. On Meng Fei's palm, he held a very mysterious object tightly, and everyone could vaguely guess that this object must be related to the opening of the entrance to Guanghan Island. People from Pill Valley? Seeing this, Xiao Yang opened his mouth slightly. Although most of the outstanding disciples of the super sects entered the Moonlight Island, the ones who entered the Jade Rabbit Island, not to mention the Hua Lexin of the initial strength of the 7-star Do Emperor in the Puppet Mansion, plus the strange woman from the Heartless Valley, Bing Shui and some tyrannical disciples, how could the token in Jade Rabbit Island be obtained by the people of Pill Valley? In this case, I am afraid it is enough to show that this guy named Meng Fei has some skills. It is said that Meng Fei's strength should not be underestimated. In the early days of the 7-star Do D, with the addition of the alchemist skills, it is very likely that we will be a formidable opponent for us to acquire the heritage of the relics this time. Xiuqi said slightly. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao Yang immediately noticed that other people were coming one after another. Feng Hong from the ancient desolate palace, Solomon Gunny, Wandu sect, Poison sect, etc. Xiao Yang from many forces secretly sensed it. Go. You also nodded lightly. Seeing this, Xiao Yang got up slightly. You. Meng Fei from Dan Valley was a little surprised when he saw Xiao Yang. The fact that Xiao Yang killed Qi Haoran was naturally known to everyone. Xiao Yang. How dare you come out? It was you who killed my brother. I want you to pay for your life. Xiao Yang's figure just appeared, and Qi Haoqing's figure suddenly burst out, attacking Xiao Yang. Boom boom boom. Xiao Yang faced Qi Haoqing's attack without dodging or evading, but said in a low voice. The blood curse on this guy seems to be hidden. But this guy's mind is probably already under the control of the evil clan. Xiao Yang thought. Come back to me. Although Meng Fei didn't want to pay attention to this matter, but at this time, he would definitely not let the two go to war. After all, the matter of the ruins was important. The two of you are quiet for a while. The most urgent task now is the ruins. As for your own personal affairs, you should wait for the ruins to finish. Meng Fei thought for a while and then said. Meng Fei, the person who died was not from your Pill Valley, you naturally don't feel bad, but that's my brother. Qi Haoqing finished speaking, bloodshot eyes filled his eyes, as if he wanted to kill Xiao Yang. Qi Haoqing, you don't have to act. Others don't know about it. Don't I know about your Xianling royal family? Don't worry, I will go to your Xianling royal family sooner or later. Xiao Yang said coldly. Humph. I'm afraid you don't have the guts. Qi Haoqing also snorted coldly. But being mentioned by Xiao Yang, Qi Haoqing's pupils were still blood red in a flash. Obviously, Xiao Yang should know about the blood curse. The power of the blood curse slowly thought. Okay, let's get down to business first. Meng Fei flashed a hint of doubt, preventing the two from continuing to quarrel. Hihi, it seems that Xiao Yang has provoked some people who can't be provoked this time. I just don't know what their attitude towards burning incense pavilion is. After all, this kind of thing, but... Wang Xie laughed grimly, looking like he was watching a play. You can't say that, in case Xiao Yang this guy. Goonie laughed maliciously. Let's go over and join them. Not long after, the 5 poisons walked directly in front of the crowd, facing the team of Mu Yingying and her party. What are you doing? Seeing this, Xiao Qi immediately became vigilant. Although the burning incense pavilion, the Wanhua pavilion and the poison sect do have some relationship, it is not the case. At the order of the sect master, this trip will help you. Wu Po, with Lin Zhu, said lightly. I hope not to cause any trouble. Xiao Qi heard the words and naturally did not refuse, because when he left the sect, Xiao Qi also received a voice transmission from his sect master, and it was said that the poison sect would also help them. Now, let's wait for Guanghan Island to open. After the 5 poisons finished speaking, they didn't speak. Xiao Yang really killed Qi Haoran in the middle stage of the 7-star Dodi? Lin Zhu asked in a low voice in disbelief. You know that you're still here, so you're not afraid of Xiao Yang treating you. Mu Feng heard the words, and immediately prepared to scare Lin Zhu. I'm not afraid of people from the Xianling royal family, but this Xiao Yang's strength is too perverted. In the middle stage of the 7-star Do Emperor, even senior sister is not easy to deal with. Lin Zhu whispered, and continued to look at the two above the sky. Let's start. Xiao Yang watched Qi Haoqing go down, and then said to Meng Fei. I heard that you are also a pharmacist. We have a lot of resources in the Pill Valley. If you want to switch to our sect, you can give it a try. After all, we are not afraid of the Xianling Emperor. Meng Fei said. Do you think that we are afraid of the Xianling royal family in the burning incense pavilion? After Xiao Yang finished speaking, a strange and brilliant flame appeared in his eyes, and he stared at Meng Fei with a slight smile. Sure enough, he has some strength and courage. No wonder he was able to kill Qi Haoran. Meng Fei said. When the nonsense is over, let's start. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, the silverlight rat stuck out his head slightly. Come out. Meng Fei frowned when he heard the words. How could Xiao Yang be so rude? He kindly invited him. However, Meng Fei is not the kind of person with a heart of snakes and scorpions, he said immediately. Following Meng Fei's exit, the mysterious thing in the palm of the slowly surfaced, and a scroll full of silver moon runes appeared slightly. Guanghan Island, this uncle is back again, hey. The silver light mouse saw Meng Fei's silver moon scroll, and immediately flew over without hesitation, and immediately swallowed it into his belly. Etc. You just swallowed it for me. Meng Fei couldn't help being surprised when he saw this. This scroll records how to crack the entrance to Guanghan Island, but Meng Fei himself can't understand the handwriting on it. Humph. What do you know? Can this uncle still harm you? Yinguang Rat snorted coldly at Meng Fei, then ignored it. Don't worry, I won't cheat you again this time. Xiao Yang smiled slowly. And with Xiao Yang smiling like this, Meng Fei's expression turned extremely ugly. This guy, I hope you don't play any tricks, otherwise even if you gather the disciples of the 3 pavilions, I will definitely let you go. After Meng Fei finished speaking, he stared at the silver mouse. Let's start. Xiao Yang saw that the silver light rat swallowed the silver scroll, digested one, and then circles of silver runes appeared on his body. Leave it to me. The silver light mouse also knew the importance of the matter, and immediately raised his paws without hesitation, and the silver rays of light went towards the mysterious Guanghan Island, and with the actions of the silver light mouse, that Guanghan Island suddenly showed signs of relaxation. Today is the 4th watch, so don't wait. With the action of the silver light mouse, everyone around him could feel that the Guanghan Island, which seemed to be full of mysterious restrictions, was receding at an extremely fast speed. I'm afraid it won't be long before they is able to enter it. This time, you have to be careful, lest this Xiao Yang trick us again. Seeing this, the strong men under the sky were happy, but they should be more vigilant about Xiao Yang, lest this guy make another mess. What kind of tricks to get in first? After all, whether it is the entrance of the Iron Gate or the swampy area, it makes them vaguely chill. If it is the first thing to do, then the good things will undoubtedly be taken away by others. Strange, why is there a feeling of déjà vu in this Guanghan Island? Moreover, the blood demon gold energy in my chest also faintly emitted an unpleasant movement. Could it be that there are still foreign evil races being suppressed in this Guanghan Island? The inexplicable fall of Fairy Moon should be related to the evil race outside the territory. Xiao Yan kept thinking in his mind. There seems to be some evil aura in this Guanghan island. Mu Yingying also embraced holy flames, and she was extremely sensitive to the evil power of some foreign evil races, and immediately spoke. Boom boom boom. After a while, the restriction that sealed the entrance to Guanghan Island was completely lifted. The seal has been broken, everyone can go in. Xiao Yang said lightly, and immediately put away the silver mouse, and then returned to Mu Yingying and the others. Come on, everyone, rush. The inheritance of Fairy Moon is inside. Whoever enters first has a chance to win, and that fighting spirit. I don't know who suddenly said a few words, and then those disciples burst out with extremely cheerful voices, and then without hesitation, their figures suddenly lifted into the sky and headed towards Guanghan Island. Inheritance and fighting spirit are not so easy to get. Let's go. Seeing this, Meng Fei didn't hesitate. Although Xiao Yang made him feel a lot of mystery, the most urgent task now is to go and see first. Let's go. Lung Fuyao immediately opened his mouth when he saw the crowds of people all rushing towards Guanghan Island. Not in a hurry. You said lightly, obviously not in a hurry. Let them go first. Xiao Yang said the same, but when he looked at the other disciples pouring into Guanghan Island, there was a hint of laughter. Hey, let these people go first. The danger in Guanghan Island is not something these guys can imagine. At this time, the silver light mouse suddenly laughed. You little guy, you don't seem to have any strength. Seeing this, Lung Fuyao couldn't help but smile at the silver light mouse. It was obvious that this guy just broke the peculiar ability displayed by the entrance, which made Lung Fuyao's eyes shine. Don't touch me. Is this uncle that you can touch at will? Although the silver light mouse was extremely weak and extremely afraid of Lung Fuyao, he still pretended not to be afraid. Girls are naturally not resistant to furry animals or beasts. Obviously, this silver light rat made Lung Fuyao feel this way. It's almost there, let's go. Seeing that these people had already left, Xiao Yang said immediately. En. Yueru nodded as well, and then a touch of silver appeared on her forehead, which was covered by bangs. Go to the medicine garden first. Yueru asked gently. These words were obviously addressed to Xiao Yang. Yes. Xiao Yang responded. A medicine garden? Aren't you going to inheritance and fighting spirit? Qin Xin was slightly surprised. Although her trip was just a foil, she also wanted to see it. There are too many people who have inherited and gathered fighting spirits, and now those who can enter Guanghan Island, the weakest ones also have the strength of the late 6-star fighting emperor, so let them kill their strength first. Furthermore, if Fairy Moon Fairy's inheritance and fighting spirit were so easy to obtain, they wouldn't have been opened several times and all 5 people obtained it. Xiao Yang said with a smile. Having said so much, shouldn't there be any medicinal materials you need in the medicine garden? Hearing Xiao Yang's explanation, Wu Po slightly curved his eyes and said with a smile. Hee hee. Xiao Yang grinned when he saw the 5 poisons at a glance, but didn't say much. Well, Lin Zhu, this time it's Xiao Yang, but I want to take a look. A guy who can be praised by the 3 pavilion masters, in the end. After the 5 poisons finished speaking, they looked at Xiao Yang expectantly. Follow me. Seeing Xiao Yang and the people from the poison sect talking like this, Yueru immediately said something to break the situation, and then jumped directly into Guanghan Island. Follow up. Xiao Yang said, then glanced around and found that no one was left behind, so he followed. Miss, what should we do? Just when Xiao Yang and the others disappeared, Xingtaki and Xiao Bai suddenly appeared. Follow them, the inheritors are in their team, so I think they should know some secrets in Guanghan Island. Xingtaki's eyelashes flickered slightly, and then he spoke. Okay. Xiaobi agreed, and the 2 immediately followed Xiao Yang and the others. Brother Wang Xie, what do you think? Guni said thoughtfully. Follow them. Wang Xie thought for a while, then spoke. Since the fighting spirit is not in Jade Rabbit Island, it is very likely that it is in Guanghan Island, and this Guanghan Island is so large, I am afraid that it will be difficult to find in a short time. If so, it is better to follow Xiao Yang and the others. Let's go. The 2 hit it off and immediately followed. So far, everyone who has entered the ruins is heading towards Guanghan Island. Some people are running for the soul, some people are running for the so-called inheritance, and some people are even running for some other things. Pregnant with ghosts. What a mysterious space. There is a faint trace of the power of the starry sky in this space. This thing is a good thing that only a fighting fairy can condense. Just stepping into Guanghan Island, suddenly I found a bright moon flickering in the sky, and then the shining moonlight gave Yueru the feeling. Why didn't I feel it? Mu Feng wondered why Yueru was the only one in his group who felt it. Maybe it's because she has an inheritance rune on her body. Wu Ju stood up slightly at this moment and said, God can't be so unfair, right? Seeing this, Mu Feng said sadly immediately, otherwise, you could absorb the power of this starry sky here, and maybe it could help you break through your current strength. Yueru Breakthrough smiled at Mu Feng. Although Mu Feng's strength is not strong, when she cracked the Iron Gate gossip before, Yueru knew clearly that this guy's strength was extremely terrifying. Forget it, I'll follow you guys. Mu Feng thought about it for a while, and realized that it was too much of a loss for him to do so he spoke immediately. Come this way, Yueru said, but the eyes of the others were attracted by a huge purple palace far away in front of her. Is that the place of inheritance? What a terrifying fluctuation. Immediately, ripples arose in everyone's heart. I have something to do today. I will go out at noon, so the other chapters will be updated in the evening. Guanghan Island, there are many basins here, but most of them are small basins. Among the basins, the terrain is low-lying, with clear waters and green mountains, and it is extremely beautiful. Obviously, it is some extremely beautiful sightseeing places. The inheritance of the Moon Fairy is really not easy. Xiao Yan was the first to break the calm and said. Everyone just entered the Guanghan Island, and immediately glanced around, and found that the Guanghan Island was not as rich as they imagined. I'm afraid that the Purple Palace is full of dangers. Wu Ju glanced at the terrain of other basins and didn't find anything wrong, and then said vigilantly, looks like you're as strong as you are, and you're afraid. Xiao Qi couldn't help laughing when she heard the words. This was the first time Xiao Qi saw Wu Po's expression like this. I don't believe that you didn't feel that thing inside. Wu Ju heard the words and denied it in disbelief. Fighting soul, right? I can't think of things that can only be possessed by the strong immortals, but they will actually be in this ruins. It seems that this inheritance is not as attractive as this fighting spirit. Xiao Qi said with a smile. That's not necessarily true. After Wu Du finished speaking, he glanced at Yu, who was behind Xiao Qi. Let's go. That purple palace is easy to defend and difficult to attack. I'm afraid it will take a lot of time for these people to enter. Xiao Yang said. Let's go here. Yu heard the words, nodded immediately, and then led the way. Following Yueru's lead, the large army immediately followed. Not long after everyone left, they arrived at their destination. Is this the medicine garden? What a strong aroma of medicinal herbs. Qin Xin couldn't help looking at the forest in front of her, which was wrapped by a layer of strange power, and opened her mouth slightly. Be careful, these scents are poisonous. Lung Fuyao smiled when he saw this. Poisonous? Qin Xin's expression suddenly became a little strange when she heard the words. Sister Qin Xin, what's wrong with you? Don't scare me. I just said it casually. Lung Fuyao said in horror when he saw Qin Xin's expression was wrong. Hey, I'm fine. The two of them laughed naturally, without any other change. The relationship between these two guys is really good. Mu Feng said involuntarily. Let's go in and have a look. Xiao Yang used his soul power to explore the forest, and then spoke. Let's go. When everyone heard the words, they looked at each other immediately. There are a lot of precious medicinal materials in this forest. Be careful when you go in for a while, don't step on it. Xiao Yang did not forget to exhort. This guy, I can't tell that he is so careful. Lung Fuyao glanced at Xiao Yang slightly, and then said. As a pharmacist, a person's conduct has a lot to do with his treatment of medicinal materials. How do you get in? Mu Feng took the lead to the edge of the forest, but saw a circle of extremely rich green wrapping the entire forest. That green aura was extremely strange. No matter what Mu Feng did, he would not be moved at all. This green aura is not poisonous, but more like a protective film to protect this place. Xiao Yang said. Leave it to me. Just when Xiao Yang was about to start, the mysterious rune on Yueru's forehead slowly spread out, and then left in front of everyone with a green aura. Following Yueru's actions, the protective film immediately disappeared, leaving a gap large enough for everyone to enter. Come in. Through that gap, everyone only felt comfortable for a while, and then poured directly into it. Strangeness. Why has Huaxin Tianyang been feeling uneasy ever since he came to this Guanghan Island? And this unease, which purple crystal palace seems to come from? Xiao Yang and Yueru entered at the end. Xiao Yang raised his head and looked at the mysterious palace in the distance with doubts. What are you thinking? Seeing that everyone else had entered the medicine garden, Yu immediately smiled at Xiao Yang. It is not easy to have the opportunity to get along independently. It's all right, isn't there any movement in your inheritance rune? Xiao Yang said with a smile. Entering Guanghan Island, I was indeed attracted by the purple crystal palace. Yu Rudai raised her eyes slightly, and instantly met Xiao Yang's eyes. Let's go. I still need some medicinal herbs. When I find it, I will accompany you to the palace. Xiao Yang smiled and was about to enter. You said, it would be great if time stayed the same now. Yueru said, seeming to miss the time they spent together. Xiao Yang naturally didn't know what Yueru was thinking at this time, and immediately entered it. Xiao Yang, I can vaguely guess from Fairy Moon's inheritance rune, your background may be very mysterious. But so what? When I get the inheritance of Fairy Moon, I'm not bad. I won't let you go easily then, humph. Yueru looked at Xiao Yang who had disappeared, a warm smile appeared on the corner of her mouth, and a hint of blush appeared on her cheeks, and she immediately submerged in it. With the disappearance of Xiao Yang and his party, the second daughter of Hoshitaki also appeared slowly. Here, the power of medicinal herbs is so strong. These guys, who didn't leave the place of inheritance, actually came here to get medicine. It's true. Xiaobi spoke first, obviously not knowing what Xiao Yang and the others were doing. I think they also know that if the inheritance in this purple crystal palace is so easy to obtain, it would be a bit ridiculous. Be careful, they are the outstanding disciples of the three sects of Funxiang Pavilion, Wanhua Pavilion, and Poison Sect together. If they find out, I'm afraid we... The two of them just finished speaking and immediately followed. In the medicine garden, there are all kinds of strange medicinal materials, so Xingtaki and the others also have what they need, so they did not go to the palace immediately, but wanted to find what they needed with Xiao Yang and the others first. These guys. After a while, Wang Xie and Guni appeared behind the two of them. Xiao Yang's team is a bit strong right now. Wang Chen's eyes flashed with solemnity. After all, regardless of Xiao Yang's elusive strength, with the addition of the two women Xiu Qi and Wu Po, Wang Xie were no longer able to deal with them. Take one step at a time, don't worry, although Xiao Yang's team is very strong, it may not be so easy to swallow me, Guni said. Hide your breath. Let's go down and have a look. After Wang Xie finished speaking, they went straight into the medicine garden. So far, the medicine garden was extremely lively. This is a lot more interesting. Just when the second daughter Xingtaki and Wang Xie entered the medicine garden, they did not know that at the entrance of the medicine garden, a colorless soul force was rapidly feeding back to Xiao Yang. Obviously the conversation of the few people just now was completely listened to by Xiao Yang. I just got home, and I wrote a chapter. Today, I will guarantee 4 more updates. Maybe the update will be delayed. In the medicine garden, there is an extremely vast forest, which is lush and green, and with the crazy growth of some trees and medicinal materials, it is a good place to hide some figures. Xiao Yang, what's the matter? Leng Fuyao seemed to sense something else, and immediately asked Xiao Yang. Fine. Let's go. Xiao Yang said casually, and then directly entered the medicine garden. Medicine garden, this is a rare and mysterious place among the Fairy Moon ruins. The refining of many magical medicines requires some extremely precious medicinal materials, and some precious medicinal materials are extremely difficult to cultivate in the outside world, and the conditions for their formation are even more unreal, but there are some kinds of medicinal materials in this garden. It is mysterious, so many medicinal materials that cannot be found in the outside world can be found here. King Xinlian. Millennium Blood Rong Essence. Hong Sui Liquid. It's all good stuff. Just after entering the medicine garden, Leng Fuyao's small eyes stared at the medicinal herbs that grew on the ground as if they didn't want money. This is just the beginning. Xiao Yang laughed immediately after hearing this. Obviously, Xiao Yang was somewhat surprised by Leng Fuyao's extensive knowledge. After all, the few herbs that Leng Fuyao mentioned just now are basically invisible to the outside world. Just relying on the records in the ancient books, they can identify them without a word, which really surprised Xiao Yang. Time is tight, so I won't sell it. For the poisonous body, we also need to find some medicinal materials, so let's part ways here. After finding it, the door will meet. Wu Ju said. That's right, this medicine garden is so big. If it's gathered together, I'm afraid it will take a long time to find it. It's better to separate it. Mu Feng nodded. Is it difficult to poison the body? When Xiao Yang heard the words, a woman named Xiaoyixian appeared in his mind, but he didn't know if she was okay at this time. Let's separate. I, you, she. We have a team of 3, you two are on a team, Xiao Yang and the others are on a team. After a while, Xiu Qi directly separated the team. The 5 poisons, Lin Chu and Mu Feng's team. Xiu Qi, Qinshin, Leng Fuyao's team. Xiao Yang, Mu Yingying and Yueru teamed up. There are separate places. If there are any special circumstances, then act according to the circumstances. Xiao Yang said. Yeah. The 3 teams had just agreed, and immediately moved apart. Let's go. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, Ruoyo Ruowu turned his head to look behind him, and then said to Yueru and Mu Yingying. Crackling. Above a sturdy tree, Wang Xie and Guni's expressions were slightly wrong. What should we do now? This guy won't find us, right? Wang Xie said, a little depressed. Just now, the 2 of them really followed the people in the astrology valley, but as they entered the medicine garden, the figures of the 2 women suddenly disappear. This is what happened next. No, follow. A 5-star Do Emperor is consummated, a late-stage 6-star Do Emperor and a 6-star Do Emperor are consummated. In the hands of the 2 of us, I'm afraid it won't last long. Guni said with a confused expression. Don't forget that Xiao Yang was the murderer who killed Qi Haoran. Although Wang Xie coveted the inheritance rune on Yueru's body, he was not someone who let others be used as spearmen. Hehe, this is natural, but Xiao Yang has 2 women by his side, we can start with them. When the time comes, let's see how Xiao Yang responds. After the 2 of them finished speaking, there was a bit of an unprofessional act in the corners of their mouths. Miss, it's fortunate that you found out in time, otherwise these 2 would be. The people of Wanjuman and Solomon are not doing well. Xiaobi and Xingtaki were surrounded by a circle of silver power, and then spoke slowly. Let's go see if there is anything we need here. Let's go. Hoshitaki didn't want to have anything to do with the people of Solomon's poison sect, so he directly used their unique aura to hide. At this time, in the center of the medicine garden forest, several figures slowly appeared here. Here, 4 towering trees decorate the place extremely beautifully, plus the circles of silver vines on the ground. Circles of extremely rich emperor energy emerge. Obviously this is a rare cultivation treasure. At this time, above the silver vines, a man sat slightly upright, and now he glanced at other places from time to time, as if he was waiting for someone. This man's body was filled with an extremely dazzling aura, but his hair was actually silver white. If Xiao Yang were here, he would definitely find out that this man was a heavenly King Ginseng. Brother Sen, you have called us here so urgently, what's the matter? 2 men approached. One of the 2 men is extremely thin, and the other is extremely burly. The 2 formed a clear distinction. Coming. Sit down. The Tianwangshan man didn't say much, and said directly to the 2 figures. This. Hearing the words, the 2 figures looked at each other immediately. All of them can only. This is the daily practice place of Tianwangshan. Don't look at the 4 trees in the sky, there is nothing special about them. These 4 trees in the sky are arranged according to the characters of their birth dates, which are indescribable benefits for his cultivation, and the preciousness here. Tianwangshan never let any medicinal materials come here in the past. Why is it so abnormal today? Xiaoman, Dazhi, do you know why I called you here today? Seeing that these 2 guys were confused, the King of Heaven immediately asked in doubt. I don't know. The 2 figures shook their heads. The 3 of us were all 3 flavored medicinal materials, and in this medicine garden, since we were born, and with the help of the mysterious power in the medicine garden, we were lucky enough to be transformed into human figures. Cultivation has indescribable benefits. Tianwangshan looked into the distance and said yes. Brother Shen, you are the oldest in our medicine garden. Thank you so much for the 2 of us who are today. The 2 figures smiled at Shen, the King of Heaven. However, do you know how long I have survived? The next moment, Tianwangshan suddenly spoke to the 2 of them. How long? After Tianwangshan asked this question, both of them immediately became puzzled. It seems to be almost 9,000 years. After a while, the thin figure, Xiaoman, suddenly spoke. 9,000 years? Could it be? Isn't there 1,000 years left? Dazhi, a burly figure, hurriedly said. Hehe, what Xiaoman said is not false. It's not 9,000 years, but almost 10,000 years. After Tianwangshan finished speaking, his eyes suddenly became deep and full of mystery. What? 10,000 years? When Dazhi heard the words, she suddenly remembered something, her eyes filled with disbelief looking at Tianwang Ginseng. Xiaoman, among the 3 of us, you are the weakest and the youngest. Do you know about the robbery? Tianwangshan ignored Daji and asked Xiaoman directly. I don't know. Xiaoman shook his head when asked by Tianwangshan. Heavenly robbery. This thing is a kind of restriction, or punishment, for all our creatures except humans. After Tian Wangshan finished speaking, he suddenly felt a little sad. This video will end here.